Good day, sir. Today I will be explaining my solutions to the given problems for the loop practice problems. And let's start off with number one. So, on question one, so we will be answering only odd questions for this time. So, the first question would be write a program that prints your name 100 times. So, here in Python, nothing much is really going on here. We just have to input the variable and the number of times our name would be repeated, and then the print function which will print our name. So it's basically simple. So if we start this, my name will be printed 100 times. If we count this, we will count it at 100. And moving on to 3. So on number 3, it states that we should write a program that outputs 100 lines numbered 1 to 100 with your name on it. The output should look like the output below. So the output would look like this. First the number and then our name. So here, still the same. For variable I in range, it should be repeated 100 times, and print. So I here is basically number 1, and then 1 plus 1 2, and then so on. 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 1 3. So that would give us with our name numbered 1 to 100. So if we play this program, it would give an output like this. So it is numbered from 1 to 100 with my name on it. Moving on to number 5, it states that write a program that uses a for loop to print the numbers 8, 11, 14, 17, 20, 83, and so on. So here we have 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 3 skips here in Python. The for loop is actually very simple. For variable I in range, so the format would be start, stop, and skip. So here we have to start at 8. So starting in 8, ending in 90. See if that's correct. 89. Yep, ends in 90, and there would be 3 skips for every from 8 to 90, and then the output would just print I, the variable I, wherein it would look like this. There. So 8, 11, 14. There are 3 skips in each number, and we stop at 89 because we only stop at 90. Therefore, there's not enough space, and a 1, 2, 3. So it will just stop at 89. Moving on to problem number 7. So problem number 7 states that write a program that uses exactly 4 loops. So there would be 4 for loops to print a sequence of letters below. So if you count this, there would be 10 A's, 7 B's, 4 C D's, E, 1 E, 6 F, and 1 G. So the program would look like this. So for variable I in range, it will print A, and to control just this line, and then another for variable I range, so 7 B's, so it would print 7 B's. Same for CDs, and it will print 4 CDs, and then E. So as we noticed, print here isn't attached to this for loop because it would just print 1 E. Because if we attach this to the for loop, then it would not give the same output. And the same goes for F, because there is only 1 G in the last, so we just have to print 1 G. So the output would look like this. So it will be the same as given here. There. So question 9. The Fibonacci numbers are the sequence below, where the first 2 numbers are 1 and each number thereafter is the sum of 2 preceding numbers. write a program that asks the user how many Fibonacci numbers to print, and then prints that many. So it's actually very simple. So here on the first line, the user has to input the number of Fibonacci numbers he or she wants to print. So n1 is basically the starting number, and n2 is 1. It will print n1, n2, and then just add these Fibonacci. The Fibonacci sequence actually is just adding the preceding numbers. So here, for loop here, for variable I in range 2, and the number of Fibonacci numbers the user wants to print. So n3 here represents the preceding numbers, which is n1 plus n2. N1 is equal to n2, n2, n3, and then print function here prints the Fibonacci numbers preceding n1 and n2. So if we play this, it will ask us how many Fibonacci numbers. Say we want 5, so there 0 plus 1 is equal to 1, 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. You could also try other, say 8. So here 0 plus 1, 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 5, 8, 8 plus 5, 13. So that's how the program goes. And moving on to number 11. So number 11 here is states that use a for loop to print a box like the one below. Allow the user to specify how wide and how high the box should be. So the output should look like this. There's a box in the hollow, and the inside is hollow. So it's a star pattern box. So here, first we have to let the user enter the height of the box and the width. So here we have two operations: the for loop for the row and the for loop for the column. So if let me just print this right away. So say we have a 10 height of height of 4 and 10. So the box should look like this. So let me explain how the process goes. I mean, in simple terms, if I is equal to 0, which is 0, 1, 2, 3 here. If I is equal to 0, it would print at 10 asterisks or stars. Or if j is equal to 0, j here represents the columns, or here the j is equal to 0. So the columns here would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 1 to 10. So here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if j is equal to 0, it would print stars like this. Or if I is equal to row minus 1, row minus 1 equals to height, 4 minus 1 equals to 3. It would print stars here. And if j is equal to column minus 1, if row minus 1, if I is equal to row minus 1, so it would print stars here on the upper part. And if column minus 1, it would print stars here on the right side. So it would be hollow. Or if I is not equal to 0, or all of this is false, then it would just print spaces. So it would just print 1 star and then print a space, because that's what we need here. And that's it. That's basically the program that for the hollow box. So we could try different measurements here. So say 7, and then 9. So there you have 9 columns and 7 rows. So that's it. And proceeding to the last question, where it says that use a for loop to print an upside down triangle like the one below. Allow the user to specify how high this triangle should be. So here it's basically very simple. So you just need the user to input the height of the triangle and use a for loop, wherein for variable I in range and whatever the height might be, it should print star a star multiplied by the number of triangle. I mean the height of the triangle minus I. So that's basically if we put 10 here, if the triangle height would be 10, the output would be print asterisk times height minus 1 9. So it's like a descending order. Say it's like this 10 here, so there are 10 and the height minus 1 here, say in descending order, so 10 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. And that's basically all for this program. So my learning experiences for this activity is that I learned how to use for loops and use how to print patterns, and I mean just exercise my logic to think outside the box to make a program more easier than to analyze the problem easier. So that's it. I learned how to use the for loop and the else if function here on 11, wherein if something is true or false, or if it is false, then else here would have a certain code or function that would prompt the program. So that's basically it, and thank you for watching.